Okay, so welcome back. Good morning, afternoon. Okay, on the last video we were speaking about reported speech, and we didn't really finish speaking about it. I think we only started to explain what it is like. Okay, so as you remember, reported speech is opposite to direct speech. We have two types of speeches in English. Sorry, we have direct speech and reported speech. Direct speech is when a person is saying something. Yeah, if somebody says something, for example, I don't know, we have this right here. I don't like pizza. This is direct speech. Okay, when you say I have gone to France, this is direct speech. When you say I am going to watch a movie, this is direct speech. Direct speech is when the speaker, this person, is the same person that produced the idea. Yeah, if I have an idea and I communicate it, I am doing direct speech. Reported speech is when you have a different person, when you have someone else. In this case, for example, we have a different person. Jhon is a reporter. Okay, Jhon is not the person who said this idea. He is reporting what someone else said. Okay, and as you remember, we have a few rules that we were checking that we need in order to use reported speech. The first thing that you need to do is you need to write an introduction clause. Okay, you need to start with an introduction clause. It can be, I don't know, you have many examples. You can say something like, in this case, Andrew is the person who was saying, so you can say, Andrew told me. Andrew told me that. Okay, so this is the first part that you need to do. I mean, it has to change. You have different ways to do it. You can use different verbs, different time tenses, different people. That is always optional because it is a relative pronoun, etc. So the thing is, you need to use an introduction clause. Number two, you need to make sure that you change the pronouns. You need to change pronouns. Because the important thing is that the message continues to be the same. The important thing is not that the words continue to be the same. For example, in this case, we have I don't like pizza. When Andrew says I, Andrew is referring to Andrew. Okay? But when Jhon is speaking about Andrew, he doesn't say I, he says he. You need to change I for he, because you are telling the same story from a different perspective, from a different point of view. So the second thing that you have to do is you have to change the pronouns. You have to check that everything is the same message, okay, that the message is the same. And number three, you need to shift the time tense. Yeah, you shift the time tense to the past. So if somebody says something to you in the simple present, you report it in the past and the simple past. In this case, this is the simple present. You have I don't like pizza. This is the direct speech. We report it in the past. He didn't like pizza. We report something in the present in the past. If somebody says something in the present perfect, we report it in the past perfect. Okay. If somebody says something in the present continuous, we report it in the past continuous. Yes. So simple present is reported in simple past. Simple past in past perfect. Present perfect in past perfect. Past perfect, that's the last time. I mean, you don't have anything before. So if somebody says something in the past perfect, you report it in the past perfect. There's no way to move. When we have present continuous, you report it in the past continuous. When somebody says something in the past continuous, you report it in the past perfect continuous. When somebody says something in the present perfect continuous, you also report it in the past perfect continuous. And when somebody says something in the past perfect continuous, that's it. You don't have anywhere back to go. so you report it in the same time sorry, as the other person told you. That's it. You don't really have to do much. And well, wheels changes to sorry, when you are using will, you change it to would, shall to should, might to may, and must to have to. The rest of the modal verbs, they remain the same way they were. And that's pretty much it. This is, I mean, there's a more thorough explanation, a more complete explanation on the last video. If you haven't checked it, this is the second video on reported speech, so you should go back, okay? So this is pretty much a summarization of what we were doing on the last video. This is pretty much what we were checking, but we haven't finished, okay? We have, in this part, I have a lot of examples of, we have a lot of examples of sentences in all the time tenses and how we change them to time tense in the past, how we change them to the passive, to the reported speech. So again, the first thing that we need to do is we need to identify, direct speech. This is direct speech. I go to Mexico City, okay? Now, for example, I went to Mexico City. This is direct speech. I have gone to Mexico City. This is direct speech. I have gone to Mexico City. Again, this is direct speech. I am going to Mexico City. This is direct speech. Okay, I was going to Mexico City. This is direct speech. I have been going to Mexico City. This is direct speech. When someone, sorry, I had been going to Mexico City. This is direct speech. I will go to Mexico City. I will be going to Mexico City. I will have gone to Mexico City. And then we have, I will have been going to Mexico City. So we have many different ways. Okay, so we are speaking, in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have like 13 different ways. We have all the time tenses. So the first thing that you need to do, we have one sentence in every time tense. So this one is in the present, okay? As you remember, the first thing that you need to do is to start with a clause that establishes. Number one is a clause that is acknowledging, is saying, is telling that this is not you. You are recognizing, you are acknowledging that this sentence is not yours, that somebody else said this sentence and you are just reporting it. In this case, you are like recognizing that you are reporting. I am the reporter. I am not the doer of this action. So if you check all of this reported speech, all of them, they start with he said or he said that. He said or he said that. I mean, it can be she said, maybe if the person was a woman. It can be he told, or he told me, or he told us, or he was saying, or he was telling me, or whatever. I mean, in this case, all of them have the same, just for the sake of, I mean, in this case, all of them have the same clause. This clause can work. Again, remember that you have many more options. This is just to exemplify how everything is working. The next part that we had to do was to, number one, clauses. This clause introducing everything. Number two, we have to take care of the pronouns. We have to change the pronouns. This person said, I go to Mexico City. Normally, I go to Mexico City. When we reported, we said he said that he, okay? This I, the original person that was saying this, when he says I, he's referring to himself. When we are reporting it, we don't say I, because we will be referring to ourselves. We need to change the pronoun, okay? I went to Mexico City. He said that he had gone. I have gone. He said that he, okay? It's always the same. I had gone. He said that he, okay? I am going. He said that he. Remember, that's a different person. I was going. He said he. I have been going. I is changed for he and he. Sorry. And he. I have been going. It changes. Okay, so it is the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, we're gonna do this. Sorry. We're gonna do this multiple times. I, he, I, he and he, I, he and he, I, he, and he. It could be she if the original speaker was a girl or woman, okay? In this case, they are just like generic things, generic sentences. And finally, the last thing that you have to do is, as you remember, you need to change the time tense, okay? So if the direct speech is in the present, I go, you report it in the past. I go to Mexico City, he said that he went to Mexico City, okay? When they are using the simple past, we report, I went to Mexico City, we report it in the past perfect. He said that he had gone to Mexico City. If somebody is using the present perfect, I have gone to Mexico City, we report it in the past perfect again. Okay, the past perfect and the past perfect. From the past to the past perfect, and from the present perfect also to the past perfect. When somebody says something in the past perfect, if they say, I had gone to Mexico City, you don't change it. It continues to be the past perfect. There is no other way. There is no other, there is no other time tense before that, okay? When they are using the present continuous, I am going to Mexico City, you report it in the past continuous. He was going to Mexico City. If somebody is using the past continuous, sorry, I was going to Mexico City, the past continuous, we report it in the past perfect continuous. He had been going to Mexico City. The present perfect continuous, I have been going to Mexico City, you report it in the past perfect continuous. He had been going. And the past perfect continuous, I had been going. Again, this is the last one. You don't have anywhere else in the past to send this to shift the verb. So you continues. I mean, past perfect continuous, from the past perfect to the past perfect continuous, from the present perfect continuous to the past perfect continuous, from the past perfect continuous to the past perfect continuous. This is a terminal time tense. This and the past perfect, you don't have anywhere back, anywhere in the past, anything before that that you can shift. And what happens with the future? Well, we have different futures. We have the simple future, the continuous future, the perfect future, or the future or the perfect continuous. So I will go to Mexico City. He will go to Mexico City. We change will for would. For would. Will, would. Will, would. Will, would. It is very simple because the only thing that you have to do is take the wills and change them to would. I will go to Mexico City, he will go to Mexico City. I will be going to Mexico City, he will be going to Mexico City. I will have gone to Mexico City, he will have gone to Mexico City. I will have been going to Mexico City, he will have been going to Mexico City. And that's pretty much it, okay? So the reported speech, you have 3 things that you need to do, remember. I'm going to repeat this one last time. First thing that you need to do, you need to start with a clause, right? A clause that is explaining that this is reported speech. Number 2, you need to change the pronouns. You need to make sure that you're speaking about the same person. And number 3, if this was in present, we report it in the past. You need to change the time tense. These are the 3 things that you need to do to change anything from the reported speech, from the direct speech to the reported speech, okay? These were just examples. If you wanna take a capture of this a screen capture, or you want to just like copy them or something and do exercises and try with new time tenses, you can do this, okay? Now, then we have this other thing. This other thing is with modal verbs. With modal verbs, well, we have more examples because it is a little different. We have all the time tenses. We checked all the time tenses. The simple present changes to simple past, the simple past to past perfect, etc. We have all of that. But in this case, when someone is using a modal verb, we need to check in a case-by-case way. So we need, modal verbs, they are different. Like each one is a little different. Modal verbs and semi-modal verbs, we need to check one by one. So again, we have the direct speech. The direct speech, we need to first identify the direct speech. I can go to Mexico City. Okay, this is using a modal verb. I may go to Mexico City. Okay, again, you have a modal verb. I must go to Mexico City. You have a modal verb. Okay, then you have I am going to visit Mexico City. This is a semi-modal verb for the future. Do you remember? I am going to watch a movie. It's the same as I will watch a movie. This is a semi-modal verb in the future. I am able or I am allowed to, to go to Mexico City. The complete sentence is this. This is a semi-modal verb for capacity or permission. Yeah, it is very similar to can. We were checking this before. Also, we have I will go to Mexico City. This is in the future. I will go. I shall go to Mexico City. This is a modal of obligation. We are using other modal verbs like I could go to Mexico City. Yeah, I would go to Mexico City. This is like a what is the name of this? A conditional sentence. I will go, but something is conditioning me. I should go to Mexico City. I might go to Mexico City. I ought to go to Mexico City. Again, this is for obligation or necessity. I would rather go to Mexico City. This is for preference. So we have multiple modal verbs and semi-modal verbs. How do we do it? How do we change them into reported speech? Okay. Again, the same thing. We start by explaining that this is not our idea. Okay. We need to start by explaining with a clause. We need to use a clause that is going to communicate that this is not our original idea, our original sentence. He say that, she say that, he was saying that, he told me that, he told us, he told us that, etc. You have multiple options. You can check them on the other video. In this case, all of them have the same clause because they are just examples, quick examples. The important thing is to know how to change the time tense. Okay. The second thing that you need to do, as you remember, is to change the subjects. Okay, when a person says I can go to Mexico City, this person is referring to himself. If I say I can go to Mexico City, I am referring to myself. If you are reporting what the teacher said, you're not going to say I can go. You're going to say he said that he could go. Okay, I is changed to he again, or to she, or it depends on who said this sentence. In this case, we don't really have Mario or Luis or Jennifer, so we are going to assume that it was a man, but well, it depends. You need to know who you are reporting. So if you notice in the reported speech, we are changing all the I's for his. Yep, I could go, he said, he. I will go, he said, he. Okay. I should go, he said, he. I might go, he said, he. I oughta go, he said, he. I'd rather go, he said, he. So the second thing that we have to do was to change all the, we had to change all the pronouns, okay? We need to make sure that we're speaking about the same person. And number 3, the final thing that we need to do is we need to change the time tense. In this case, it's a little different because we don't really have time tenses. In this case, we have modal verbs. We have, for example, can. What happens when somebody is using can? We report it with could. Can changes to could. I can go to Mexico City. That's direct speech. He said that he could go to Mexico City. Okay, can changes to could. May. I may go to Mexico City. May changes to might. I may go to Mexico City. He said that he might go to Mexico City. Perfect. Must. We don't really have a past for must. Must is must, and you cannot really like send it to the past or anything like that. So instead of using must, we're going to use the semi-modal verb have to, but in the past. So it is going to be had to. I must go to Mexico City. I have the obligation. He said that he had to go to Mexico City, that he had the obligation. Okay. Then we have, I am going to visit Mexico City. This is semi-modal verb for the future. I am going to visit. I will visit. This is technically in the present continuous. I am going to, although it means future, it is technically in the present continuous. So you can change it to the past continuous. He said that he was going to, not I'm going to in the present, but was going to in the past. When somebody is using be able to or be allowed to, well, this is in the present. This is a semi-modal verb. It means can, but it says I am able to, I am allowed to, the verb to be. So you say I was able to, well, he was able to, he was allowed to. You need to change the verb to be. This verb is part of the semi-modal verb. Normally, it would be in the present. If it is in the present, you report it in the past, okay? I will go to Mexico City. This, we have already checked it. This is will. All wills change to woulds. Yeah. Shall, I shall go to Mexico City. He said that he should. Shalls change to shoulds. And the rest of them, all of them, they continue to be the same. All of them, they never change. When someone says something like could, would, should, might, ought to, or would rather, we report it in the same modal verb. We don't really change. I could go, he could go. I will go, he will go. I should go, he should go. I might go, he might go. I ought to go, he ought to go. I'd rather go, he'd rather go. And that's pretty much it. This is what we do for reported speech using modal verbs, okay? This is just a quick, I didn't want to just to give you a list. I wanted you to check at some examples of how this is being used so that you can think about it yourself and come up with your own examples and with your own ideas and with your own sentences. And finally, well, not finally for today, we need to make sure that we change pronouns and adjectives. This is kind of weird. The important thing here is that, well, I think, you know what? We're gonna start with this in the next video, because we're gonna be speaking about other things that you have to be careful of. Sorry, you need to be careful of pronouns. That's something that we have spoken about. You need to change the person so that it corresponds to the message. But there are other things that, like adjectives, that you need to change. For example, possessive pronouns or possessive adjectives. For example, times or places. You need to be very careful with that. So in the next video, we're going to be speaking about all these things that we have to change, okay, in order to communicate the same idea. I don't want to make this extra longer. So this video is only going to be about examples of each time tense and how you shift to the past. In the next video, we're going to focus a little more on respecting the idea of the message, okay? Respecting the subject, the possessor, the object, the time and the place. Everything has to change so that the sentence continues to mean the same thing, okay? So that's it for now. I think this video didn't end up being that long. I think the next one is probably going to be the last one. I'm not sure, 1 or 2 more, but if they are 2, they are going to be short ones like this. Okay, so thank you very much. That's it for now. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video or in the next conference or whatever we see each other again. Okay, so thank you very much.